Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 3DS, and Xbox Live. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, I don't have to whisper in this video because I'm recording during the day. We've got a sea day here on the cruise and there's not a whole lot going on, so I decided to take some time during the day and actually record. In fact, I'm in my room right now, and if I pull the curtain back, I get completely blown out, but if I adjust the camera a little bit, you can see the water behind me. And now you can't see me at all. So I've gone ahead and closed the blind, and starting out, we'll talk about Nintendo Switch Emulation on PC with Ryujinx. Ryujinx just released their progress report, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below, and I highly recommend checking it out. We're just going over it here at a very high level. So this month, almost like every other month, we've got a bunch of bug fixes and performance improvements. For example, there was a memory leak in Super Mario Odyssey that was fixed, and also some fixes for Fire Emblem, Mario and Rabbids Now Boots. There were a whole bunch of Vulkan backend improvements, CPU improvements, and kernel improvements. And if you take a look now, Animal Crossing no longer crashes randomly without a save file. Breath of the Wild no longer randomly crashes. Pokemon Sword and Shield should no longer randomly crash when entering Pokemon centers. And finally, much to the delight of a bunch of people, volume hotkeys have been added. Ryujinx overall has come a very far way, and October was a strong month for them. In fact, the very latest version of Ryujinx, at least at the time of filming, version 1.1.361, improves performance for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And that brings me right into my next piece of news. We're talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but not necessarily for great reasons. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has been incredibly popular lately. Yes, it's popular because it's Pokemon, but it's also popular because it's got a whole bunch of graphical and technical performance issues. This game is not running well at all on the Switch. It doesn't even look like a finished game sometimes. Now, some people are blaming Switch hardware for being too weak to run Pokemon, and some people are blaming the game devs of Pokemon because they didn't optimize the game at all. Arguably here, I would say this is more of Game Freak's fault as opposed to Nintendo's. Yes, the Switch hardware is weak, but they kind of knew that going into developing Pokemon. And if you take a look here at Pokemon vs. Xenoblade, well, there's a pretty big difference as to graphical quality and arguably also gameplay performance between the two. However, I am really curious as to your thoughts on this situation, so let me know in the comments below. Should Pokemon have been delayed, or is Nintendo to blame? And fun fact here, Pokemon runs better on emulators than it does on actual hardware. That's kind of crazy. And speaking about emulation and speaking about Nintendo Switch, next up we're talking about Skyline, Nintendo Switch emulation on Android. And I've got some very interesting news for you. Discord user Clouds was able to beat Super Mario Odyssey from beginning to end using a Snapdragon 750 processor and build number 1485 of Skyline. The kicker here is that version 1485 isn't even the latest version of Skyline. If you head to skyline-emu.1, click on download, you'll see the latest build here is version 1509. There have been some performance improvements since version 1485. There have been a number of changes from Skyline Edge, the paid testing version of Skyline, trickling down into the mainline build. If you haven't updated Skyline in a while, you might want to pick up the latest version and see how it works for you. And speaking about latest builds, last up here we're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation on Android with the official version of Citra, just not the official one on the Google Play Store. If you head to the actual Citra website here and pick up the nightly version, you might notice a few new features. If you picked up the official paid version of Skyline through the Google Play Store and you download the latest nightly build of Skyline directly from their website, well, you might notice that Nearest Neighbor has been added to the texture filters list. While it is unfortunate that this is kind of hidden behind a paywall, at the same time here it's nice to see the official version of Citra on Android still alive and kicking and improving. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about today in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos, don't tempt fate, save your state.